we thought it would be a good idea to give everyone the opportunity to witness the ceremony. Some of the background and all the hard work that Len Palmer and Alex Mayer put into it to get John's name on the list and finally accepted for the Hall of Fame.
I had a couple things in mind when I came here this time. One of those is to kind of close the loop on John Hinckley's nomination to the Corvette Hall of Fame. And to show Alex, because he wasn't able to attend the ceremony, what the other 950 people saw at the induction ceremony. The other thing I wanted to do, and I told you a year ago, I was told by a person on the inside that I had to get NCRS support to get John selected to the Hall of Fame. And I've been so super to have everybody's help that's here today to make that happen. Howard's been just absolutely super in his help. Vito, your president. John Perkle, the NCRS representative to the selection committee. John got selected last December, was inducted this September. I think the video that you're going to see that the National Corvette Museum put together for John is as good a piece of work as I have experienced in my business career.
33,000? 33,000? 33,000?
33,000.
33,000?
33,000.
Yes, 33,000 emails, 38,000 forum posts, all the articles he's published in traditional channels, plus the innumerable phone calls. All these attest to the number of people who have benefited from John's expertise. David Burrows, CEO of Bloomington Gold, summed up this potent combination of knowledge and altruism in just 3 points on his recommendation form. John's 21 years of experience in the GM plant, which is a far richer historic background than just reading books. Number 2, communication skills that allow him to transfer that knowledge. Number 3, an attitude that attracts, encourages, and makes others glad to be a part of Corvette. The NCRS also stakes a claim to a large amount of his time. He joined in the early 90s, and during his tenure, John has been chairman of the Michigan chapter, which co-hosted the first international convention of the NCRS. In 2008, he conspired with Bob Lutz to get the attendees of the NCRS Motor City Regional on the famous GM Milford Proving Grounds. It's events like these that demonstrate the contacts, knowledge, attitude, and generosity that place a person in the Hall of Fame. The second inductee into the National Corvette Museum Hall of Fame for 2009, Mr. John Hinckley.
I'd just like to thank a few folks. First, my wife, who not only tolerates but encourages my hobby and everything else that goes along with it. And without Linda's help, I wouldn't be up here, and I wouldn't have a garage full of neat cars and a great big garage to work on them in. I would also like to thank some folks who helped me get here. Len Palmer, my buddy from San Jose, California, and his wife Marilyn are here. Len is who started this whole thing. I gave Len a lot of help over a long period of time in restoring his car, and he thought he'd return the favor by nominating me for the Hall of Fame. And nobody was more surprised than I was when I learned a while back that I was selected for it. I would also like to thank my co-nominator, Alex Mayer. Alex couldn't be with us tonight, but Alex is a retired GM vice president and group executive. And at the time when I was a junior engineer at Chevrolet Engineering, Alex was director of engineering at Chevrolet, the #1 engineering guy there, and all the chief engineers reported to Alex. And I got Alex. I made a lot of noise about trying to design things simpler and having net build and taking out adjustments and shims and all the other things that make it so difficult to build a car. And Alex tuned into that, and he was into that kind of thing too. So I spent a lot of my time as a junior engineer having lunch with Alex Mayer in the executive dining room, much to the distress of my boss, who had never been in the executive dining room, and never would be. But we had a lot of fun, and Alex was my mentor, and he cleared the way for for improvements that came along later after I left General Motors. But Len got this started. Alex helped him out, and that's why I wound up where I am. It's always been my experience that it's the cars that bring us together, but it's the people that keep us together. And that's what this whole thing is all about, and that's what it's always been about for me.
Alex wrote out his testimonial by hand, and I said, why did you do that? Didn't they have typewriters in those days? He said, well, nobody's going to believe it if I write it out on a typewriter. So that's the kind of level of concern that he was good enough to give me. It was the 15th anniversary of the Corvette Museum. They added a whole new building, which they opened on September 4th when we were doing the induction ceremony. That whole wing is pretty much focused on the Corvette Hall of Fame. You're going to see 4-foot by 3-foot photographs of John up on the wall. So we're going to give Alex a few things that I brought, and I think John has got some to kind of recognize the fact that he's been so helpful in this particular process. So,
part of the ceremony there was me being presented with a plaque, and Buzz read from the plaque when he brought me up to the podium. I didn't bring the plaque today, but I have a photo of it, and on the back I have a photo of my display at the Hall of Fame. Each Hall of Fame inductee has a display inside a glass case with personal mementos and that kind of thing. I'll pass this around. You take a look at it, and I don't know if any of it's in the video or not, but it's the plaque and my display there. When this comes back around, it goes to Alex, and it goes home with Alex.
I brought a photo of what we took last year. You'll see it in the materials that we used in the nomination package. And then there's a pretty good picture of that. We're going to show you another video clip of some of the additional material. John's not aware, but the nomination that most of you signed as a part of your testimonial for John is included in this document. And that to me is the most important testimonial that I have.
The person that is most responsible at all for this is you and the old Mr. Honda.
I received this envelope from Wendell Strode, who runs the museum. So I conspired with Wendell to have Alex present. It's the
well, that's the job. I'm standing up and everything.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
John Corvette Hall of Fame, John Hinckley, 2009 inductee. Isn't it? If it's much more than got a GM magnet, we're good.
Nobody has really ever seen this in hard copy form because it's too voluminous. This is his actual nomination. It's a summary of what he's obviously done for all of us. And so what I did just a little bit ago was I got Alex to sign.
And John is now going to read it for us.
So again, thanks very much. It's been a real pleasure, and we really enjoyed it.
You're not done yet, John. From the chapter, we thought it would be appropriate if we gave you a little something. And since you were inducted into the Hall of Fame on the 15th anniversary, on the occasion of the opening of their brand new edition, we thought it'd only be fitting that we kind of give you a little memento. And there's a plaque engraved there. John Hinckley, inducted into the Corvette Hall of Fame, September, I think it was September the 4th, 2009. So congratulations, John, from the front.
That's terrific.
Nice little paperweight.
It's stainless steel, and it isn't going to corrode.
No shims or anything.
No shims, no spots. That's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations.